cabbage, something. Well, they talk about the hydrogen engine. Is that if they get that going, that you could suck an exhaust pipe and your complexion would get better. There would be steam, would be exhaust. There would be no pollution.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
Does anybody care about
You
that?
still got to separate the hydrogen out. You got to get the hydrogen. Like you've got to pull it out of water, for instance, and that's a tight bond. And I don't know what I'm talking about here, but
are you working on bathtub cold fusion in your house too? In your bathtub?
No.
Not anymore.
Well, actually, there are people out there saying that those guys really got a raw deal. The press invented the idea of cold fusion, that they never called it that. Mm-hmm. And there's people doing research saying it looks like there might be something possible here.
So it was a joke, now is real, or it was real, now is a joke?
No, it might have been real.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they were getting success like 3 times out of 10.
Yeah, that's what I heard. In baseball, you go to the Hall of Fame for doing that.
Yeah, right.
You really do.
That's good. So anyway, about meditation.
Okay, let's talk about that. 5 minutes.
I think the whole key, we get to my point here, right? That I think the whole thing is we got to learn to stop thinking in terms of ego. People do. And the only way I know how to do that is through meditation.
That takes you away from ego?
Yeah.
Okay.
It does.
How so?
Well, you just get this sense of calmness.
Mm-hmm.
This is hard to explain because it's not thinking.
No, it's not. It's the opposite of thinking. It's not thinking. It's letting your mind go so completely that you're not thinking about anything.
It's like a Cubs fan.
You just, you just are. It's like you become one with wherever you are. It's almost like you leave your body, which I have never been able to do it, quite frankly. I wish I could, but I just don't have the attention span to be able to sit there like that.
It's difficult to do.
It's not really.
Okay.
It takes time. It takes discipline and determination. At the outset, it's harder to do. What I'm thinking is that, Albert Einstein said we can't solve problems with the same thinking that created the problems.
Correct.
And what I'm thinking is we can't solve the problems with thinking. We have to solve the problems by kind of just opening up to the universe. Mm-hmm. And things start to happen when you do that. I first started meditating like 30 years ago, then didn't do it for a number of years in there, and now I've done it again for the last 7 or 8 years. And you will see coincidences occurring in your life. Like me thinking meditation and you saying it.
Right. Now, was I in tune to you? Were you in tune to me? Were we in tune to each other?
Well, I'd like to think we just were in tune to the universe. Yeah. So we're just in tune with the big cycle.
That sounds like woo-woo, moonbeams and stardust. But the more you read about things like The Secret or Wayne Dyer or a lot of people that talk about that's not all woo-woo, and the universe has been around a lot longer than us.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. I think Shelley's that's exactly right. It's just letting go. It changed for me when there's all these little steps where you see things changing. Mm-hmm. One of the things that changed for me is when I first started meditating again, let's say 7 years ago.
Okay.
I could not sit and do it. It just, my shoulders would get sore. Mm-hmm. So I'd had a total of 3 classes with a meditation and yoga teacher. Mm-hmm. And at the last meditation class, I said, I can't do this. I get pain in my shoulder. What can I do? He said, Hatha yoga. So I started doing yoga. Mm-hmm. And now I do a little yoga, but more meditating. And it's all kind of the same anyway. Yoga is meditation. It's meditation using the body. But so now it's like I would get to like 15 minutes. I could do 15 minutes. And it just seemed so difficult to get that far. I picked up a Swami Rama book one day, and it just opened to a page. Like, talk about favorable coincidence. Opens to a page, and it says he's giving a lecture. A lot of his books were like that. They transcribed his lecture. It says, when you meditate, you fight with yourself. Mm-hmm. And I thought, yeah, why don't I just let her rip and just stop trying to do this? And not long thereafter, I meditated for, I thought I must have done 20 minutes. I opened my eyes and an hour had gone by.
Okay.
And that is bliss.
Mm-hmm.
That is a very blissful feeling. So I like the idea of everybody having that feeling. Because then a lot of the other stuff doesn't mean so much. Having a bigger car or having more money, it just doesn't.
I'm at that point in my life right now. Really have it. Maybe it's through all the whatever it is. But I Shelley's today, what your dream car would be. We look at this nice car in the parking lot. It's like, it's a nice car. But if I don't have one, if I was a millionaire, I would still drive just a reliable car. I would like to buy something. If someone really liked that car, I'll buy it for them and give it to that person. But I don't need it myself. Is that weird? I'm not trying to sound all...
No, that you're in a good place. I think that's
the
good.
best place I've ever been in. And I claim that.
Mm-hmm.
Some years ago when I drove a rusted-out 76 Oldsmobile, I said to my youngest son one day, I said, Andrew, I think I'm going to be the kind of guy who drives a 1976 Oldsmobile. And he said, Daddy, you are that kind of guy.
We must be related. We got a top of the hour news next. Eno Yaw coming back, talking more about meditation. We don't want you not off to sleep. We're coming right back.
You're listening to the Mothership Connection on AM 1050 WLIP, your cosmic link to the other side.
How's your stamina? Are you with us again? It's our last hour. Maybe you didn't start at the beginning of the show. Thank you for joining us on the Mothership Connection. The Bewitching Hour from 11 to 12. We're here. We talk about a lot of different things, interesting things. Dobie Maxwell is my name, the King of Uranus. Also, Shelley Maas-Hernandez, Greg Deguire is with us. Our in-studio special guest, hopefully more part of the show as much as you'd like to be. Eno Yaw is here. 2bitguru.com is his website. He'll be doing more blogs. He's got some blogs up there now about a lot of interesting things. We talked about Poison World. The Garden is a good food guide for how to live. And we're talking about meditation and all things about that. Now, Eno is kind enough to give me this book, Meditation and Its Practice by Swami Rama. I will read it, digest it, give it to Shelley and or Greg if they want to read it, because I want to know about this. I was in the San Francisco comedy competition in 2003, and that's the biggest comedy competition in the world. And San Francisco has really opened up to a lot of things like we talk about, moonbeams and stardust and all that kind of crystals and stuff. And someone talked about meditating. One of the other comics was meditating, and he gave me a book about it, and I read it. And it said a good way to start, if you've never meditated before, is to picture a 24-second clock like in basketball. And look at 24, 23, 22, and get all the way down to 1. But you can't think about anything else. When a thought pops in your head other than the numbers, you have to go back to 24 again. And I was there for about almost an hour, and I couldn't get past about 21.
Really?
Because your brain, it takes work, like Eno was saying. It just takes a long time.
What you could do in that instance, I would say don't go back. I would say just keep on going.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, a lot of people think meditation is about having no thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
The yogis have thoughts. The thing that they don't do is engage the thought.
Okay.
Let the thought go by. And don't beat up on yourself.
Mm-hmm.
If you do engage the thought.
Okay.
I mean, I'm generally speaking meditate for 45 minutes to an hour every morning.
Okay.
Pretty much every morning. If I miss a couple mornings, I know. It's like an addiction after a while. Once you get over that block.
Yeah.
Once you realize that you really can be in that state of mind or state of no mind, whatever you want to call it.
Well, I find myself now in the last couple of months walking for exercise every day. The only days I miss, like today I didn't because I was so sore. I put in such workouts this week. My legs were sore, and you need to sleep a little bit, take a couple of naps, and recuperate a little bit. But I will go walk the mall in Gurney Mills. I'll take about 3 laps, which is almost 5 miles. And I'll find myself at the end of the second lap, and it's like, how did I get here? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I'm in thought, and I guess I'm not really in thought, but it just kind of goes by, and I concentrate. Is that a form of meditation?
Sure is. Sure.
But I'm walking. I'm not sitting, and I'm walking and moving.
There's a whole, I think, there's a Vietnamese monk, I believe, named Thich Nhat Hanh.
There's a joke there, but I'm not going to go anywhere. Tic-tac-toe.
I think his last name was H-A-H-N. I read one of his books. There's a lot of people who really like him a lot. And he, if I remember correctly, he talks about meditating when you walk, meditate when you do this or that. He teaches mindfulness, where you're conscious of everything that you do. You focus on everything that you're doing while you're in that moment.